So, float will represent what? Delay. Delay first in delay. I am transferring the product and thereafter I have to receive the cash. The time gap is called delay. The delay here called float management cost. First, there are 6 floats are there. Billing float, mailing float, credit period, mailing float, check processing float, and bank processing float. Billing float you understood. What is called billing float? The product after sending only they are preparing the bill. It needs some time. That time is called billing float. How to reduce the billing float? Delay irukku sir. We want to minimize the float. Then only can get the cash immediately. Then only can do the business properly. How to minimize the billing float? By way of instant billing, immediate billing. Bill clear? Any mall, if you go and purchase, suppose one product by mistake it is there in the pack without billing. Before you go, the sound or device will create the sound. Am I right? Because that product is not built properly. Not built. Have you noticed or not? Clear? The tag they have to remove during the building process. Therefore, instant billing so that we can minimize or we can avoid billing float. Second delay is called mailing float. What is called mailing float? I have prepared the bill. I am sending the bill to you. Invoice anuparam. As a customer, I have to settle the money. I am depending on postal or courier. That is called, that need 1 or 2 days delay. To avoid the same, electronic devices are there. Fast and economic mode of transmission we have to depend. Which one is the fast and economic mode of transmission? Which one is the fastest device? There are 2 fastest devices are there. One is email, another one is female. Am I right or not? Clear? Now, if you go and tell some information, it will spread. Am I right? So, here, invoice, therefore work related, therefore female not possible. Because work, therefore we are dependent on, email or what? Fax, nowadays or WhatsApp. These are all the device we have to depend. So that fast and economic mode of device we have to use. So that we can be the person to reduce or minimize the mailing float. Then, credit period. No response from the girl side. Very good. Then, credit period. All are alive? Students are alive?
Yes, sir.
No, okay. After lunch, no, very good. Then, credit period. With respect to credit period, you know what is called a credit period? Net to 40, net to 80. The terminology will be there in exam. Okay? You should be very careful. Net to 40 represent what? Today you can purchase the product. On or before 40th day, you have to settle the money. That is called what? Net 40. Clear? But it is for the purpose of increasing the sales. Okay? If I am going to allow to purchase on credit basis, I can sell more product. But at the same time, you have purchased the product. Clear? Suppose our Aarti has purchased the product. 10 lakh worth of product we have purchased. But I am giving what? 40 days credit period. 10 lakhs worth of product I prepared, produced, I transferred. But today I don't have the cash. They are going to pay on or before the 40th day only. 40 days without having cash, I have to run the business. Then I have to depend on bank only. Am I right or not? Clear? Therefore, because of the delay, I am struggling. I want to reduce, then only cash flow will get increased. Otherwise, I have to pay interest to the bank. For that purpose, I can't alter the 40 days. If I am going to 40 days become 20 days mean, my competitor may going to sell in 40 days. My customer is going to become competitor's customer. Am I right? He may going to purchase, whoever going to be the more credit period. Therefore, without affecting the same, I want to increase or minimize the liquidity position or increase my betterment my liquidity position. Then 40 days as it is you can take. But if you are going to settle well in advance, I will give cash discount. Understood? 2 by 10 net 40. Now got the logic or not? 2 by 10 net 40. Net to 40 represent 40 days credit period. 2 by 10 represent 40 days credit period. But if you are ready to pay within 10 days, okay, I will give 2% discount. So cash discount. So few customers may going to pay well in advance. So that is called what? Credit period we can be in the position to minimize. The delay we can be in the position to minimize. Delay means the not duration. Because of the delay in getting the cash, that we can minimize by way of cash discount. Or if we are not clear, that terminology called 2 by 10 net 40. Numbers may going to change. 2% means 2% discount. It may be 3% also. Okay? By 10, if you are going to pay within 10th day. Okay? Net to 40, then what? 40th day, you have to pay normal payment period. Okay? Then, what is the next one? Mailing float again. So up to this stage, 3 float we come across. Okay, float management. We are in float management, working capital management, float management, billing float, mailing float, credit period. Remaining 3 floats, mailing float, check processing float, and bank processing float. Remaining 3 are mailing float, check processing, and bank processing. First 3 float within my control. Thereafter, you have to send the check. Thereafter, accountant has to book the entry. Something beyond my control. Very difficult to reduce. The remaining 3 things, we can be the position to minimize the delay by way of concentration banking and lockbox system. What are they called? Concentration banking and lockbox system. So minimization of delay, float by way of instant billing, billing float by way of instant billing, mailing float by way of fast and economic mode of transmission, credit period by way of cash discount, remaining 3 floats by way of concentration banking and lockbox system. Now, difference between concentration banking and lockbox system, that is also an interesting question, frequently asked question. The concentration banking and the lockbox system, the concept is practically outdated, but since frequently touching the MTP or if it's there in our LMR book also, that is what a textbook also, chances are that to repeat the question, okay, even though some concept has outdated, okay. Now, for the benefit of 4 to 5 marks, you have to remember what is called concentration banking and what is called lockbox system. Simple logic, sir. Concentration banking and lockbox system. With respect to concentration banking, sir, I have to identify how much the total turnover for my company. I have identified 200 crores is the total turnover. My company is in Chennai. Then, again I am asking, out of 200 crores, how much is from Chennai, how much is from outside Chennai? After analyzing the same, you have got 100 crores from Chennai, remaining 100 crores from outside Chennai. Chennai, we are in Chennai only. Definitely we know how to capture the market. We have to focus more on other than Chennai, outside Chennai. Are able to follow or not? So that we can capture the customer. Then, outside Chennai, 200, another 100 crores. Then, classify from where and all 100 crores has come. We are classifying out of 100 crores outside Chennai. Chennai block pannலாம். Other than Chennai or other than our place also we want to capture. Out of remaining 100 crores. 10 crores or 20 crores from Ernakulam, Cochin. Okay. My premium customers are there in Cochin. We have to concentrate properly. Another 20 crores from Hyderabad. You will have to focus more on Hyderabad. Another 20 crores from Bangalore. So we have to concentrate Bangalore. Another 20 crores from, okay, Coimbatore. Okay, we have to concentrate Coimbatore. Then remaining 20 crores from other part of the country. Okay, India. So, other to double. Then our major customers are there in where? Bangalore, Hyderabad, Cochin, underwater, Coimbatore. The 4 places I have to concentrate so that I can be the person to collect the cash quickly. This is for the purpose of getting quicker recovery of cash. We want to reduce the flow. Don't forget. Okay. We want to, after selling the product, we want to get the cash quickly. For that purpose, we are worrying about concentration banking. 4 major cities I have identified where my more premium customers are there. Then, to reduce the delay, open one branch in every place. Clear? Or appoint collection center in every place. So that they will collect the money and deposit into my account. So that quicker manner we can reduce the delay will be reduced. So remaining mailing float, check processing float, and the bank processing float we can be the person to reduce happily. So that earlier recovery possible. Are with me or not? Sir, how sir opening the branch and all? Simple logic. Mobile, if you want to recharge, you can go outside somewhere, one shop, you can pay the money. It is equal to collection center only, no? Same manner. Shop now what branch will be very big size. The object is to collect the money from the customer at the earliest. Clear? BSNL, nearby possible, I have to go to the BSNL office, I have to stand in queue, and you have to get the scolding from the warden, the wonderfully efficient customer service provider. Thereafter, you have to pay the money. Am I right or not? So, all government offices will be like that only. Even bank, you can say, IOB is the best example. Okay, all efficient workers are there only. Am I right or not? Clear? After, even for deposit, you have to get the scolding from those idiotic people. That's the reason everything, why privatization comes into the picture? Because of those inefficient people only. Clear? If you are having one bus, that person is called the what? Businessman in our town. Am I right? He is earning money. After 2 years, 3 bus, 5 bus, owner. The entire bus with the government, huge loss. Am I right or not? Clear? So many ways are there to loot the government fund. Am I right? That's the reason everything going to become privatized now. Here, yes, that's a negative is also there. At the same time, all because of the government workers only, they are huge loss you are bearing it. Because once they got the job, that's all. Without working, they want to earn money. Substantial people. Exceptions always there. Am I right? Best example, go to the bank, IOB bank or Indian bank and all. You, yeah, super what response you can get. Clear? Next. So, concentration banking represent what? This is what? Where and all collection center possible you can open so that you can quicker recover. Another one is called Lockbox system. Same process only, but instead of opening the branch or collection center, clear? We can tie up with the local bank. Coimbatore, one bank account. Cochin, one bank account. Bangalore, one bank account. Hyderabad, bank account. Ask my customer to deposit in local bank, so-called local clearance. We can pay commission to the banker instead of depending on branch or water. My collection agent, we can depend on bank so that earlier recovery is possible. Now core banking system is there, app is there, okay, paying for another GPay is there, phone pay is there. It's become outdated, but for the purpose of 5 months, how to remember how to recover the cash. This also form part of float management. Concentration banking and the lockbox system help you to reduce 3 floats. What are they? Mailing float, check processing float, and manageable. Next important question with respect to cash management. In that cash management, J. Baumol's model is there. Another one is Miller or cash management model is there. Okay, J. Baumol and Miller or cash management model. Miller or cash management model, this time expected question, important question. Baumol's model, practical question is important for exam. Okay, it's equal to EOQ square root, that formula based one. Similarly, another one is called Miller or cash management. That's a theory point of view that is important for you. With respect to Miller or cash management model, it's purely based on uneven cash flow assumption. Sarcastic approach, uneven cash flow. Cash flows are not even, am I right? That is what the assumption. That is what practically, that is what that only possible. Cash flow not what proper means, what even means what. Company's point of view, the object is optimum cash balance. This comes under working capital management, optimum cash balance. With respect to optimum cash balance, there are 2 different models are there. One is called J. Baumol's model, another is called Miller or cash management model. J. Baumol's model based on the assumption of uniform cash flow. Therefore, optimum cash balance under J. Baumol's model is equal to square root of 2AT divided by I. A represents annual cash disbursement, T represents transaction cost per transfer, I represents interest. So it is equal to EOQ model. Now, if you know the J. Baumol, you can understand Miller or cash. Miller or is against that model. No. J. Baumol's model is practically not possible. He has copied from what? EOQ model. Wilson's formula, EOQ's formula. With respect to material, Wilson's model, square root of 2AO divided by C or 2AB divided by C, that may be practically possible because uniform production schedule, uniform availability of raw material, okay, price of the raw material remain constant. What are the assumptions in EOQ? May practically possible. I am producing the product throughout the year, production schedule remain constant. May possible. Am I right or not? Clear? Best example, Kerala. They are very famous to produce umbrella. Am I right? John's umbrella, umbrella manufacturing company is there. They are not going to produce only on rainy season. Throughout the year, production will be there. They will keep it in godown. And rainy season, more sales will be there. Am I right or not? Production schedule throughout the year is possible. Thereafter, they are going to sell the product. Am I right? That is possible for materials, product. Now we are worrying about one cash management system. How much the cash I have to carry? You go to client place as a auditor. Okay. In client place, you can tell, I am from this company, Hariran Associates. I want to check how much the cash you are having. Open the teller. After verifying the cash, no. Take the calculator. You know, J. Baumol has identified optimum cash balance for the any industry's point of view. Square root of 2A divided by I. After identifying the same, you have to carry the cash only 2,500 only. Then there's a lost audit for you. Am I right or not? Thereafter, you as well as Hariran cannot go push to the particular company. That is not practically possible. How much the cash I have to carry? Who has decided? You have to decide. Am I right? Aarti, how much the cash you need per day basis? Aarti, how much you need cash per day basis? Take your one time, tell tomorrow. Meghna, how much you need cash? Per day, how much you need cash? So, you need cash, right? How much you need cash? Who has decided? You only has to decide. I may need cash, okay, per day, 200 rupees. Clear? And you may need cash, 100 rupees. He may be sufficient for 50 rupees. She may need what, 5,000 rupees. Depending upon the person to person going to vary. Am I right or not? Clear? How much cash you need, you have to decide. Depending upon what habit you are having, accordingly you have to decide how much the fund you need. Am I right or not? It's going to vary from one person to another person. Even your parents may not understand how much money you need. Am I right? For an individual, how much I need, I have to decide. For a company, go on to take the calculator, square root of practically possible, they'll slap and will ask you to get out. Therefore, Miller or said, you can't the person to identify how much the cash balance you need, company need, by way of one formula. That is not a correct approach. Because first one, the assumption behind J. Boomal's model itself not correct. Uniform cash flow, that's not correct. Right? Uneven cash flow only possible. Clear? Once in a month I am paying salary in the company. Right? Once in 2 months I am paying electricity. Then compared to first month, second month cash flow will be more. Right? Once in 3 months you have to pay advance tax. When compared to first month, second month, third month cash flow will be high. During the season, I may going to pay dividend declaration time. Huge cash flow will be there. Diwali time, bonus will be there. But cash flows are uneven, ups and downs will be there. Therefore, we can't identify by way of formula-based approach. That is what Miller R approach. Miller R said, uniform cash flow not possible. Ups and downs will be there. Then, how to identify? By way of practice only, by way of experience only. Like chart format, tabular, the chart format, matrix format. How many months? Assume take month 1, 2, 12 months, okay, Jan to December. Here, how much the cash follow, cash availability of the fund. First month, this is the cash in available cash. Second month, third month, fourth month, fifth month. How to identify how much the cash. Thereafter, you can draw the chart. Then, which month you are having more cash, that identify. Highest amount, what cash you are having. That is called upper limit. What is it called? Upper limit. Where you are having lowest cash during the last 12 months. Okay, 1 year. That is called lower limit. One is upper limit, another one is lower limit. In between, you have to identify average cash balance. So, upper limit, lower limit, average cash balance. Clear? Thereafter, whenever your available fund reaches the upper limit, you have to bring down the cash balance. So, bringing down the cash balance. Clear? Then, excess cash we have to invest somewhere so that cash flow will come, cash inflow will come, cash available fund will come. Whenever cash flow or available cash touches the lower limit, risk in then bring up the cash flow by way of selling, dispose of the investment. Everything short term, okay, because in working capital management. Then on an average you can maintain average balance. Therefore the average balance is also called return point. Upper limit point return on the lower limit point return on the. Therefore that point is called one return point. So upper limit, lower limit, average limit is also called return point. Based on that, by way of past experience, you have to maintain average cash balance and an average. That's the optimum cash balance, not by way of applying one formula. That method is called the one Miller or Miller or cash management model. Then thereafter, factoring versus bills discounting. You know what is called the factoring and what is called bills discounting. Clear? In factoring, there is no regulatory authority. Bills discounting as per the Banking Regulation Act. Factoring, borrower, factor Okay, and debtor 3% will be there. Whereas bills discounting, drawer, drawee, payee. Here 3 days grace period not applicable for, not available for factoring. Whereas there based on the act, 3 days grace period is available with respect to bills discounting. In factoring, negotiable instrument tax and all not applicable. There is no banking relation or tax. Whereas bills discounting, that and all applicable. Okay. Next important question, aging schedule. Okay. Aging schedule frequently asked to 4 more questions for now. Expected question as well as important question. With respect to aging schedule, you know, while preparing P&L in the balance sheet, okay, while preparing P&L in the balance sheet, debtor will be there. In the debtor, in balance sheet, one line item debtor is equal to, assume 200 lakhs. Thereafter, we have schedule for the debtors. Correct? The 200 lakhs consist of debtor A, B, C, D, or laundry. Thereafter, we are going to give the report to the management. Out of debtors, aging of debtor. Aging means not debtors but aging. From when he has become debtor, that is called aging of debtor. Okay? They are going to identify the aging of debtor. Debtor A, 12 months I pay. Debtor B, last 2 years is the debtor only. Debtor C, they are going to identify. The outstanding payment period is called debtor period. Are you able to follow or not? 2 வருஷம் தரல, 2 months தரல, 10 days ஆச்சு. They are able to identify. One debtor C is 10 days only. Okay, pending இருக்கு. Last 10 days debtor இருக்கு. Debtor A 2 years, debtor B 2 months. Which one is a risky debtor?
2 years.
My dear students, which debtor is the riskiest debtor?
2 years.
Yes.
Okay, 2 years debtor. Okay, nice interest from the student side. Very good, keep it up. So 2 years debtor is called what? Riskiest debtor. Then we have to focus on the 2 years debtor. Why you are not paid the money? You have to analyze. Am I right or not? 2 years ஆச்சு ஏன் கொடுக்கல? You have to do the follow-up activity. You have to make a call. What is the reason for not paying? You have to identify. Are with me or not? Clear? Then, still not, he is not obeying. You have to send the mail or what? Follow-up on them. At least stop sending the goods thereafter. Further loss you can avoid. திரும்ப ஆர்டர் பண்ணுறான். Unless I settle the old one, we can't go to sell the new product. We can't transfer. So that at least further loss we can avoid. Clear? Further we need debtors by aging. Am I right or not? Same manner. Debtor C, whether you need any follow-up activity. Debtor C, how many days? I said 10 days. Our credit period itself net to 40. If I am going to make a call, debtor not kadupadu. Am I right? That's backfire. Clear? You are irritating me. You only told to 40 days. Now you are calling it 10 days. I don't want to purchase the product. Clear? அப்போ யாருக்கு கால் பண்ணி கேட்கணும், யாருக்கு பண்ணக்கூடாது, யாருக்கு ரிமைண்டர் கொடுக்கணும், யாருக்கு பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு தெரியும். Further we need aging of the debtor. That is called aging schedule. If I am going to have the aging schedule, future loss I can avoid. I can identify who and all prompt payers so that I can give discount or something. Any benefits I offers I can give only to the prompt payers. Another one, future cash flow I can identify. Next month my expansion plan is there. 50 lakhs I need. Aging schedule பார்க்கணும். Yes, this all the debtor are going to pay. Almost 30 lakhs only. If I am having 20 lakhs only, I have to depend on loan. Else I have to worry about entire 30 lakhs, 50 lakhs alone. Am I right? So my cash flow I can be the person to predict or identify by way of aging schedule. Are you comfortable? So aging schedule is the important one. Next important theory, commercial paper. Commercial paper is issued at a discount, redeemed to par. It's an instrument, one of the instrument, like negotiable instrument, one instrument. Issued at a discount and redeemed to par. Then we are going to issue redeemed to premium. Assume 100 rupees worth of the bond I am issuing. You can purchase 100 rupees. You can take and purchase. After 5 years, okay, 120 rupees per bond I give. 20 rupees discount, 18 rupees discount, 8% discount, 12% discount, 12% premium, 8% premium. They are going to redeem at a premium. Same manner, as a ulta engine. Issued at a discount, redeemed at a par. That is also for you, it's a premium only. Am I right or not? Clear? 100 rupees worth of bond, I am issuing at 90 rupees. So discount lo kudukkum. At the time of redemption, I am paying 100. Therefore, you will get the benefit. That type of order, short-term financial arrangement is called commercial paper. Clear? This is also form part of working capital management. Features of commercial paper: it's a short-term in nature, 3 to 6 months. Short-term in nature. Second one, commercial paper should be issued for a minimum period of 7 days and a maximum period of, that should be what, maximum period less than 1 year. It's a promissory note, similar to the promissory note, not exactly. Okay. Then it's an unsecured document. Okay, unsecured bond issued at a discount. Then denomination of the commercial paper every 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Okay, if one commercial paper is equal to 5 lakhs, and maximum how much? 25 lakhs only you can be the person to borrow. So stamp duty with respect to what? Here also subject to stamp duty. Stamp duty is applicable. Then these are all the things sufficient for you. Okay. Next, how much I can be the person to issue? Commercial paper can be issued up to 100% of the fund based on working capital loan limit. Clear? Maximum 100% of the estimation of working capital you can remember. Total approach to cash cost approach. 100% out of which only we can be the person to estimate. We can be the person to what? Restriction is there with respect to commercial paper. With respect to commercial paper, we are having procedures. First, application to RBA. We have to get the permission from the RBA. Application to RBA. Second one, yes, approved by RBI. Then private placement. Okay, application to RBA, approved from RBA, private placement, and intimation with respect to what? The complaints. These are all what? Procedure with respect to issuing the commercial paper. 4 procedures are there. Parallelly you have to repeat, parallelly you have to what? See, then only you can have the grip. Application to RBA, approved from RBA, approved from the RBA, private placement, and complaints. Are you with me? Video not working. Okay. Next, discuss later. Next important question. Capital structure. The cost of capital, there is no much important. Capital structure is the important one. With respect to capital structure, optimum capital structure is this time important. Am I audible? All are alive? Students, are you alive? Audible? யாரா இருக்கீங்களாப்பா? Is there? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
optimum capital
Yes, sir.
structure.
Yes, sir.
With respect to optimum capital structure, it's an expected question as well as important question. Theoretically speaking, optimum capital structure is possible, but practically appropriate capital structure only viable or possible. If it is called optimum structure, capital structure, debt fund, equity fund is a capital structure, also called capital block. Equity share capital, preference share capital, long-term loans and debentures, combination of all is called the capital structure. Suppose 60-40 is the capital structure, optimum capital structure. Then all the companies will have 60-40 only, but practically not possible. I may have 60-40 ratio, you may have 90-10, other person 10-90, depending upon your comfortness, depending upon the characteristics of those often. Right? Theoretically, we can say optimum capital structure, but practically not possible. Practically, appropriate capital structure only possible. What is possible? Appropriate capital structure. With respect to appropriate capital structure, it has the 5 characters: profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, and control. The 5 things are important: profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, and control. Profitability, the capital structure leads to maximization of profit. That's the reason we are computing capital structure. EPS is where we are going to get more EPS, that option is preferable. So the capital structure leads to more profit for the shareholders. Then flexibility. Flexibility represents any point of time I can have flexible to increase the share or decrease the share, or increase the fund or decrease the fund. Flexible option. Clear? It's not a rigid one. Then conservation. Conservation represents what? Debt content should not exceed the maximum amount company can bear is called conservation. In the sense, to run the company, I need to assume 1 crore. Instead of that, if I am going to borrow 100 crores, you can get nowadays, any bank will get. If you are going to give for or get for 50 lakhs, 20 lakhs, very big problem. If you are going to get for 100 crores, 200 crores, bank will come and give it in your home itself, right or not? Thereafter, you can settle in foreign. So you can get the fund, but how you can be the good settle? That's the called one. You should be very careful. Bearable amount you should be. உனக்கு எவ்வளவு துப்பு இருக்கு அடைக்கிறதுக்கு பார்க்கணும். Accordingly, you have to get the loan. That is called one, conservation. Solvency, with respect to solvency, because of paying interest, I should not liquidate. I should not wind up the company. நிறைய லோன் போயிடுச்சு சார், இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கொடுத்து கடையை முன்னு இருக்கக்கூடாது. Solvency how to mention. Insolvency இருக்கக்கூடாது. Solvency. And control, in the sense of what? Dilution of control should not be there. I should have the control over the entire business. Because of the capital structure, I should not lose the control. That is called one, control factor. So, appropriate capital structure has 5 important features: profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, and the control. Good comment. Then, capital structure theory. 4 different capital structure theories are there: net income approach, net operating income approach, Modigliani-Miller approach, and the traditional approach. Net income, net operating income, Modigliani-Miller, and traditional approach. 4 approaches are there. For all the approaches, assumption remains same. Therefore, any approach they ask, write the assumption. These are all the assumptions under this particular approach. So they easily can score them all. Alright? What are the assumptions? There are 7 assumptions are there. Easy for your remembrance. 7 no's. That is what I have given the packet says book. What are all the 7 no's? Clear? First no. What is the first no? No preference shares. No preference share capital. Second no. No change in capital employed. Third no. No retain any. Next, 4th one. No losses. Next, no changes in fixed cost or operating cost. 6th one. No taxation. And last one. No difference in investor expectations. These are all the 7 no's you have to remember. You should know 7 no's. Right? Now, first no. What is the first one? No preference share. A person what? Companies having equity share capital and debentures or loan fund. Debt and equity. Equity only. There is no preference share capital. So easy for identification. There is no preference share capital. Second one is what? No change in capital employed. In the sense what? Total capital employed 100 crores. 60 from debt, 40 from equity. 90 from equity, 10 from water. Total remain constant, but debt and equity proportionally going to change. Are you able to follow or not? Therefore, there is no change in capital employed. Capital employed remain constant. Debt to equity mix alone going to vary. That's the second assumption. Clear? Third one is what? No retain earning. In the sense what? There is no retain earning means EPS is equal to DPS. Earning per share is equal to dividend per share. Retain earning ratio. What is the retain earning ratio? 0 is the retain earning ratio because there is no retain earning at all. Dividend payout ratio is how much? 100%. That's all. Understand logic or not? Earn பண்றதெல்லாம் கொடுத்துறேன் கர்ண பிரபு. Right? That is called what? That's assumption. Clear? Then no loss. So here the all capital structure is based on what? Company will get always profit. There is no loss. Okay? Always profit is the assumption. Then no change in fixed cost or operating cost. Clear? To do the transaction, you know the operating cost of that remain constant. There is no change at all. Then no tax. இது வரைக்கும் எல்லாத்தையும் கூட கொஞ்சம் அதுவே கஷ்டம் டைஜஸ்ட் பண்றது. கிளியர்? நோ டாக்ஸ். தட் இன் இந்தியா ப்ராக்டிகலி பாசிபிளா? இருந்தாலும் டாக்ஸ், செத்தாலும் டாக்ஸ், ரோட்ல போனாலும் டோல் டாக்ஸ், பர்ச்சேஸ் பண்ணாலும் டாக்ஸ் உண்டு. கிளியர்? So, but no assumption is what? No tax assumption.
No tax.
Clear? And last one is no difference in investor. All investors having same expectation. Am I right? ஒரு கேர்ள் இருக்கட்டும் இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ்ல 108 வாட் டிஃபரன்ஸ் வரும். பட் தே செட் வாட்? ஆல் இன்வெஸ்டர் ஹேவிங் சேம் அசம்ப்ஷன். ஓகே, சேம் எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன். These are all what? Far away imagination, but where no other go, you have to remember 7 assumptions. Okay, 7 no's. I'll repeat: no preference share capital, no change in capital employed, no retain earning, no loss assumption, no change in fixed cost or operating cost, no taxation, no difference in investors expectation. Manageable? Very good. With respect to Modic Miller theory, thereafter he changed it after seeing India. Okay, without tax assumption, thereafter with the tax assumption also they changed. That's the reason why solving the problem. Sometimes with the tax will be there, sometimes without tax will be there. Taxation won't be there in few questions, and a few questions with the tax will be there. Thereafter, earnings availability, equity, shareholders, and all you have to compute. Clear? So both the assumptions are there. Next, business risk and finance risk. That is also a frequently asked question now. Next important question: business risk and finance risk. Hope you are all taking notes. Am I right? That is also assumption only. Am I right? Business risk and finance risk. Business risk, for the benefit of I will call one my assistant to read. Yes, madam.
Business risk and financial risk.
Audible?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Help me, madam. I will pay extra salary.
Business risk. It refers to the risk associated with the firm's operation. It is the uncertainty about the future operating income.
So it's with respect to what? Firm's operation is called business risk.
It is the uncertainty about the future operating income. That is how we can tell the operating income can be predicted. It can be measured by standard deviation of basic earning power ratio.
Whereas finance risk, you can go to finance risk.
Finance risk. It refers to the additional risk placed on the firm's shareholders as a result of debt used in financing companies. Companies having more debt instruments in their capital structure would have higher financial risk than companies financed mostly by equity. Financial risk can be measured by ratios such as firm's financial leverage multiplier, total debt to assets ratio, etc. Financial risk consists of 2 types: risk of cash insolvency and risk of variation in the EPS.
So it's a beautiful question. Business risk and finance risk. You know, during the COVID time, poor people also there, and rich person also there. For example, person working in software company, nice salary of per month 1 lakh, 1.5. Those persons also suffer because of the COVID time. Business dull, reduction in water, salary, work from home culture. Okay, from escaping from work only, they are going to the office. Again, work from home. Okay, after doing all other homework, they have to do work. Am I right? So, their answer knows better. Now, during the time, poor people also there, sellers also there, street shops, vendor, street vendor also there. எல்லாருக்கும் affect ஆனது. But if you are going to see who got more affected, street vendor got more affected or software company or software is example I'm telling you. Okay, person working there, that person has more affected comparatively that hand. Okay, not street vendor. Comparatively what? High end person only got affected. Why? Reduction in salary or work from home they reduce the salary or no salary or vella ponam chuta because of a reduction number of employees. If you are going to see their expectation 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, 2 lakhs, accordingly loan was there. EMI, substantial amount they paid EMI. Am I right or not? Clear? Many cases, even including my client case. Those are suffered like anything. They forced change the school for the babies. Kids. Schools never, without having school, they are having bus fees, tuition fee, okay, dress, food. Fees done, you have come across. Many idiotic school has bought it. They looted the fund from the. Clear? Online, 1 hour class, 2 hours class, for that also they charge full money. Am I right or not? Clear? Substantial money they looted. Schools are what? Highly gained profit. Am I right? And the staff salary, they reduced nil salary for the teachers. So the school people very clever. If you are going to see, they are unable to pay the school fee, they are unable to manage the EMI, they suffered a lot. Why, sir? They are earning much or not? When compared to vendor, they are earning much. For them, there is no operating loss, finance loss. புத்திகட்டு போய் லோன் வாங்கியிருக்கேன். Clear? எதுக்கு லோன் வாங்கணும்? That is supposed to have. Clear? Without only anything and everything, you go for the loan. They learned the nice lesson during the COVID only. Wonderful lesson. Cost is very, very high also. Right? Clear? The street vendor, the poor people, they are not going in that angle, they are not suffering that kind of thing. For poor people, they afford with respect to business risk. Business effect on it. Clear? More business, less business, more profit, less profit. This person, finance not. Earning much, but at the same time, substantial earning they paid by way of what? Loan itself. So, same thing applicable for what? Companies also. In company, business is not operating properly. I am going to incur a loss or profit reduction in profit is called businesses. Business dollar, that is very easy. Am I right? Business is going smoothly. Huge loan is there, sir. Debt fund is more. Substantial money I am paying what? Interest. Because of the interest, profit may not be sufficient. Am I right or not? In this juncture, 2 crores profit, 2.5 crores interest. Profit, nice profit, but we may not be able to bear the interest cost because of the financial plan is not properly. Capital structure is not proper. That's why it comes under the word capital structure theory. Clear? Up a debt equity mix, you should be very careful. Interest coverage ratio, you should be careful. That is called what? Finance risk. So, here finance risk can be two types. One is risk of insolvency. You have to close down the business. Yeah? Or EPS will going to get affected. Earning per share going to get affected. Understood that when business risk and finance risk? Definitely you won't reply, I know. Okay. Next. Next important, over-capitalization. That is easy only, simple only. Madam, kindly read on behalf of me.
Over-capitalization. It is a situation where a firm has more capital than it needs.
So, it is a situation where more capital than what they need. That is called what? Over-capitalization. I want to do the business. I need 1 crore, for example, business. If I am going to have 50 crores, that's overall, clear? Because nobody going to give the fund at free of cost. Then how you will repay or how you are going to pay the interest portion or dividend portion is the biggest question mark. Right? So what is required? That capital only is supposed to have. One business that only have to source of funds supposed to be there. Else it's called one over capitalization. Thereafter over only. Yeah. Next.
Assets are worth less than its issued share capital, and earnings are insufficient to pay dividend and interest. Causes of overcapitalization: raising more money through issue of shares or debentures than company can employ profitably. Borrowing huge amount at higher rate than rate at which company can earn. Excessive payment for the acquisition of fictitious assets such as goodwill, etc. Improper provision for depreciation, replacement of assets, and distribution of dividends at a higher rate. Wrong estimation of earnings and capitalization.
These are the means of one over-capitalization. What you have studied in the account, same thing. Correct? Then, consequence. What will the impact of over-capitalization?
Considerable reduction in the rate of dividend and interest payments. Reduction in the market price of shares. Resorting to window dressing. Some companies may opt for reorganization. However, sometimes the matters get worse and the company may go into liquidation.
Good. Understood? Power calculation over manageable. Simple question only. 3
Yes,
or
sir.
4 mark question. It's there already. You have studied in the accounts paper also. Then trade-off theory and picking order theory. Okay? Picking order, not packing order. Picking order theory. Pick பண்றது. Okay? Now, first trade-off theory. Kindly read that one.
Trade-off theory. The trade-off theory of capital structure refers to the idea that a company chooses how much debt finance and how much equity finance to use by balancing the costs and benefit. Trade-off theory of capital structure basically entails offsetting the cost of debt against the benefits of debt. Trade-off theory of capital structure primarily deals with the two concepts: cost of financial distress and agency cost. An important purpose of the trade-off theory of capital structure is to explain the fact that corporations usually are financed partly with debt and partly with equity. It states that there is an advantage to financing with debt, the tax benefits of debt, and there is a cost of financing with debt. The cost of financial distress includes bankruptcy cost of debt and non-bankruptcy costs. Example: staffs leaving, suppliers demanding disadvantageous payment terms, bondholder or stockholder infighting, etc.
So trade-off theory. It's nothing but overall fixing the debt equity mix. To do the trade business, how much I have to depend on debt and how much I have to depend on equity, and you have to consider the risk factor also. How much I can be the person to bear the interest. Accordingly, we are going to fix the source of fund. Is called a trade-off theory. Second one is similar to that. Another concept is called picking order theory. That is also important for this exam. Read Kanna.
Picking order theory. This theory is based on asymmetric information, which refers to a situation in which different parties have different information. In a firm, managers will have better information than investors. This theory states that firms prefer to issue debt when they have positive about future earnings. Equity is issued when they are doubtful and internal finance is insufficient. The pecking order theory argues that the capital structure decision is affected by the manager's choice of source of capital that gives higher priority to sources that reveal the least amount of information. Mine is given the name picking order theory, as here is no well defined debt equity target and there are two kinds of equity, internal and external. Now debt is cheaper than both internal and external equity because of interest. Further, internal equity is less than external equity, particularly because of no transaction or issue cost, no tax, etc. Picking order theory suggests that managers may use various sources for raising of fund in the following order. Rule 1. Use of internal financing. Rule 2. Issue debt next. Rule 3. Issue of new equity shares at last option.
Oh, listen here. Simple way to understand. You know characteristics of source of fund. High cost goes to which fund? Own fund. Am I right? Low cost goes to borrowed fund. Am I right or not? So borrowed fund is, loan fund is cheaper than own fund. Clear? Therefore, if you want to choose the finance, first I have to give priority for debt, thereafter for equity. Therefore, debt is a cheaper source of fund. Debt, thereafter I am going to give the equity. That is called trade-off theory. Clear? Whereas picking order theory, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பாரு, internal source if any, that you have to make use. Thereafter கடன் வாங்கு. So in the picking order theory, three things are there. First one is what? Internal financing. Thereafter debt. Thereafter equity. So trade-off, only two things. Debt, thereafter go for equity. Here internal finance, debt and equity. Clear? For that they are giving some benefits also. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Good, 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 good. Next important one. Financial leverage is a double-edged sword. Important as well as expected question. Financial leverage is a double-edged sword. Okay. Shall we start? Good.
Sir,
Just listen the theory. Thereafter, I will explain. Yes, Dinesh, what do you want? Oh, start now.
Financial leverage is double-edged sword. The concept of financial leverage arises only in case of company having debt fund. So what is a financial commitment? Payment of interest is a financial commitment. To proceed further, we should know the characteristics of sources of fund. There are three characteristics with respect to sources of fund. They are risk, cost, and control. Next, we have to find out which one is costlier between own fund and borrowed fund. Own fund is very costly as compared to borrowed fund. Why are borrowed fund comparatively cheaper? Cost of borrowed fund is the payment of interest. The cost of own funds to the company is the payment of dividend. If I am going to pay interest, it is fixed in nature, whereas in case of dividend, depending upon the level of profits of the company, it has to be paid. Moreover, payment of dividend involves no tax benefit. On the other hand, interest means tax benefit is included. Therefore, borrowed funds is cheaper than own fund. So why do we have to depend more on borrowed fund? It is to get the benefit of tax saving on the interest component. When can I be in the position to borrow? I can borrow funds only when my return on investment is higher than the actual cost of debt. Refer trading on equity. Consider a situation where I am borrowing a loan with a rate of interest of 18%. If the return out of the loan invested comes to 22%, the difference of 22 minus 18% is 3% equals to income or savings for me. Therefore, it acts as a beneficiary to the company and I can enjoy the borrowed fund because its cost is less. But at the same time, the risk factor is also involved. High level of risk goes to borrowed fund because I will be paying interest regularly irrespective of the amounts of profits I have achieved. Thus, by paying interest, I will have to close down the business because I will be in a situation where my interest liability is more. I will also have to shut down the business in case of nil profits. In conclusion, we understand that on one hand we are having some benefits and on the other hand there is risk factor involved. And that is the reason why financial leverage is called a double-edged sword.
Understood? With respect to financial leverage, the concept of financial leverage arises only in case of debt fund. You know, debt fund is cheaper than own fund. Am I right? Borrowed fund, not debt fund. Debt fund is cheaper than own fund. Own fund means we have to pay dividend, whereas debt fund means you have to pay interest. Interest remain constant. Payment of interest is remain constant, fixed in nature. Dividend, depending upon the profit, you have to pay more and more dividend also. So, dividend expectation of the shareholders are always higher than interest expectation of the loan holder. Moreover, dividend means there is no tax benefit. If once I paid the interest, I can debit in the P&L account. Accordingly, profit will come down. Accordingly, tax also will come down. Therefore, debt fund is cheaper than own fund. Okay. One hand, these all benefits are there. And another hand, if I am going to depend more on debt fund, because of the debt, I have to pay more interest. I have to close down the business also. Business is not going well means. So, we have to identify how to what level I have to go for the debt fund. So, financial leverage you can enjoy the benefit. Okay, financial loan enjoy pannalam, but it's a double-edged sword. enjoy பண்ணலாம், at the same time risk factor ஜாஸ்தி. You should know how to handle. That's the reason financial leverage are having double-edged sword. இருமுனை கத்தி. லோன் வாங்குறது இருமுனை கத்தி. ஈஸியான ஒன்று. ஓகே, லோன் வாங்கினா பெனிஃபிட் இருக்கு, வியாபாரம் பண்ணலாம். At the same time இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் கட்ட முடியலனா நீ அழிஞ்ச. So how you have to balance, how you are going to manage, what is the bearable capacity, accordingly only you have to go for loan, the debt fund. That is called one. Financial leverages have double-edged sword. It's a frequently asked or important question for the exam. Are you with me? Here they said trading on equity also you have to refer. What is called trading on equity? That's also frequently asked question. Trading on equity arises only if return on capital employed should be greater than KD, cost of debt. Return on capital employed should be greater than cost of debt. Cost of debt is the interest portion. Assume loan I am getting 18% interest, out of which I am investing the fund. I am getting return out of the loan. I am getting return out of the business comes to 22%. 18% interest pay பண்றேன், 22% return கிடைக்கும். Difference is equal to profit for me. I can enjoy the benefits. Then only I can depend on loan. So if I am going to depend on loan, subject to return on capital employed should be greater than KD, then I am depending more on debt fund than equity fund. More debt fund leads to less cost to the company. Less cost leads to more profit. More profit leads to more EPS, earning per share. That concept is called trading on equity. Are you able to follow around? Okay. Next போலாமா? வேலுண்டு வினையில்லை, மயிலுண்டு பயமில்லை, சுகமுண்டு குறையில்லை மனமே, கந்தனுண்டு கவலையில்லை மனமே. Debt service coverage ratio. First exam question. Need for debt service coverage ratio. Madam, help me, madam. Page number 226.
Need for debt service coverage ratio. This ratio is a vital indicator to the lender to access ability of the borrower to service the loan in relation to timely payment of interest and repayment of principal amount. It shows whether the business is earning sufficient profits to pay not only the interest charges but also the installment due on the principal amount. Desirable debt service coverage ratio is 2:1. This ratio will enable the lender to take correct view of the borrower's repayment capacity. The ratio is calculated as earnings available for debt services divided by interest on loan plus installment, where earnings available for debt service is equal to profit after tax and depreciation plus interest on loan.
Understood? So how much fund we are having, how much you are going to pay EMI, so that we can identify whether you are capable enough to pay the money or not, how long you can pay, it's worth it for what, that fund is worth it or not. That is called what? Debt service coverage ratio. Limitations of financial ratio. Next important question. Simple question only.
The limitations of financial ratio. Diversified product lines. Ratios calculated on the basis of aggregate data cannot be used for inter-firm comparisons of business operating a large number of divisions in quite different industries. Financial data are badly distorted by inflation. Historical values may be substantially different from true values. Such distortions of financial data are also carried. Seasonal factors may also influence financial data. To give a good shape to the popularly used financial ratios, the business may make some year-end adjustments. Such window dressing can change the character of financial ratios. Difference in accounting policies and accounting periods. There is no standard set of ratios against which a firm's ratio can be compared. It is very difficult to generalize whether a particular ratio is good or bad. Financial ratios are interrelated, not independent.
Okay. What are the limitations of ratio analysis? That's what. Then, what is payback reciprocal? In capital budgeting, we have come across actually payback reciprocal. What is the formula for payback reciprocal? CFAT per annum divided by initial investment into 100. Nothing but you have to express in terms of percentage. CFAT per annum represents uniform cash flow. Suppose uneven cash flow means average CFAT is a numerator divided by initial investment into 100 is equal to payback reciprocal. CFAT for the year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4. Different CFAT is there. Then you have to take average is a numerator, denominator, initial investment into 100. So that we can get payback reciprocal. Next one is capital rationing. Capital rationing arises. Practical as well as theoretical question is important with respect to capital rationing. Capital rationing arises only if there is a shortage of fund, available fund is less, then only capital rationing arises. For example, it comes under the capital budgeting edition. For example, project A, project B, project C, and project D available. 4 projects are available. Each project, I need 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs. So total, how much the fund I need to start the business, accept the projects. All the projects are profitable. I want to accept the project as a businessman. So totally how much fund I need? 80 lakhs I need. Each project is 20 lakhs. Okay, Nirmal, listen here. So 80 lakhs you need. Assume available fund comes to 55 lakhs. Then, rational manner, I have to choose what are all the projects I have to accept. Rational way of investing, because I don't have the sufficient fund. Then I have to choose which project is first rank, which project is second rank. That is called capital rationing. Intelligent way of investing the fund as a capital is called capital rationing. Most of the area, name itself implies the correct. கொஞ்சம் உட்கார்ந்து படிச்சா புரிஞ்சுது. The heading nameலியே concept இருக்கும். But you have to spend some time. Now, how to choose the project? That is important. For that purpose, projects here classified into two types. One is divisible, another one is indivisible. Divisible project and indivisible project. Divisible, not breakable project. Indivisible, not breakable. In the sense what? I said, how many lakhs available in your hand? 55 lakhs. Am I right? Totally, how many lakhs you need? 80 lakhs. Appa any 4 project you can select. Yeah, based on rank. Remaining all 55 lakhs. Any 2 project you can select. 20 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Okay, first rank project, second lakh project. Balance how much is there? Okay, 15 lakhs. Remaining 15 lakhs. But to start the project, how much you need? 20 lakhs. Am I right or not? First rank project you have invested. Okay, 20 lakhs investment. Second rank, next investment relative, you have invested another 20 lakhs. 40 lakhs gone. Out of 55 lakhs, 40 lakhs gone. Remaining 15 lakhs is there. Next rank project, invest the same 20 lakhs you need. But available fund how much? 15 lakhs. Therefore, not possible. It's called indivisible project. Quota full money pool. It's an indivisible project. No, sir. You can invest 15 lakhs. Another person can invest 5 lakhs. Totally 20 lakhs. You can start the project. Net present value of the project, 15:5 ratio. You can equally what? You can apportion the profit. Then it is called divisible project. Few projects may be divisible. Few projects may not be divisible. Right or not? So accordingly, you have to choose. In case of divisible projects, we have to select which project is best. First rank product, second rank product, based on profitability index. You know formula for the profitability index. Total discounted CFA divided by initial investment. Higher the profitable index is preferable. Accordingly, rank 1, project A, B, C, D, profitable index of the project. First rank, second rank, group 1. Accordingly, you have to invest the fund. Suppose the project is indivisible in nature, divise panna mudiyadu. Then net present value you have to identify. So according to net present value, first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. Accordingly, you have to invest. With respect to capitalization, easy or not? Next, time value of money. That is very frequently asked question. Worth of a rupee received today is not equal to worth of a rupee to be received in future is called time value of money, also called the time preference of money. Why we need a time preference of money? We are telling 5 reasons. One is risk, nothing but risk of insolvent, or risk of bad debts. Second one is what? Preference for present consumption due to nothing but urgency. Third one, investment opportunity cost. Today if I get the money, I can invest somewhere. Next, inflation due to inflation. Last, capital budgeting decision. These are all the reason for time preference of money. How many methods are there to compute time preference of money? There are 2 methods. One is present value of future money and one is called the future value of present money. In case of present value of future money, you have to go by way of discounting technique. In case of future value of present, you have to go by way of compounding technique. The project evaluation technique, even last class we had discussed about the project evaluation technique. Simple payback, reciprocal, ARR, am I right? ARR, average rate of return. Next, net present value, discounted payback period, profitable index or desirable factor, and what? IRR. The first 3 techniques are called without considering time value of money. Simple payback, reciprocal, ARR. These are what? Without considering time value of money. Whereas the remaining 4 things are called, what are the remaining 4 things? Discounted payback, net present value, profitability index, and the internal rate of return are called with considering time value of money. So, this is 5 marks. What is time value of money? Reason for time preference of money. Then methods of computation with methods of computation. Thereafter, what are all the project evaluation technique with as well as without. So, 5 marks in your package. Then MIRR, modified internal rate of return. Okay. Short notes question, 2 mark question. Yeah. Great.
Modified internal rate of return method. These are several limitations attached to the concept of conventional internal rate of return. The MIRR addresses some of these deficiencies. For example, it eliminates multiple IRR rates, it addresses the reinvestment rate issue and produces results which are consistent with the net present value method. Under this method, all cash flows apart from the initial investments are brought to the terminal value using an appropriate discount rate, usually the cost of capital. This results is a single stream of cash flow of the terminal year. The MIRR is obtained by assuming a single outflow in the 0th year and the terminal cash inflows as mentioned above. The discount rate, which equates the present value of terminal cash inflow to the 0th year outflow, is called the MIRR.
Read the theory one more time. Thereafter, refer in ICA one question is there, illustration. Refer so that you can understand better. So, mere reading the theory with the numbers, if you are going to refer, it's easy for Then we can go for leasing, lease financing, source of fund. In that, what is called lease financing? Yes, read. Page 379.
Lease financing. Leasing is an alternative to the purchase of an asset out of own or borrowed funds.
Instead of buying the asset, we can go for leasing so that we can cash flow we can be the portion to minimize. Am I right? It's an alternative way to purchase the asset.
Leasing is a contract between the owner and user of the asset over a specified period of time.
It's just a contract for using the asset for one particular period of time.
The asset is purchased initially by the lessor, leasing company, and thereafter leased to the user, lessee company, which pays a specific rent at periodical intervals.
So there are two persons involved, lessor and lessee. Lessor is the owner of the property. Lessee is the person using the property. Am I right? So who has to pay rent to whom? Lessee has to pay rent to lessor. Okay.
The lessee pays a specified rent at periodical intervals as consideration for the use of the asset. This constitutes the income of the lessor. Lease finance can be arranged much faster as compared to term loans from financial institutions. From the lessee's point of view, leasing has the attraction of eliminating immediate cash outflow, and the lease rentals can be deducted for computing the total income under the Income Tax Act.
Understood. One thing, if you go for lease, I want the building to conduct the business. One thing, instead of buying in huge cash flow, okay, I have to pay 5 crore rupees to purchase a building. 5 crore is a huge cash. Then I can go for lease, 10 years lease for it, or 21, some few years lease for it. Then I don't need to pay what, 5 crores. I can finish with what, 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, or 1 crore. Am I right? That too, that money I can get it back also. Or I have to pay lease rent. If I am going to pay lease rent, then in my P&L account, expenditure, I can debit. If I purchase and become asset, expenditure debit panna, so that I can be in the position to have the tax saving also. This is all the benefit with respect to lease financing. Then, operating lease versus finance lease. Important question. Yes, Padima, read.
Difference between operating and finance lease. Meaning, operating lease. The lessee is only provided the use of the asset for a certain time. Finance lease. The risk and reward incident to ownership are passed on to the lessee. The lessor only remains the legal owner of the asset, that is, substance over form. Cost of repairs. Operating lease. Usually, the lessor bears cost of repairs, maintenance, or operations. In finance lease, the lessor enters into the transaction only as a financer. He does not bear the cost of repairs, maintenance, or operations. Risk. In operating lease, risk incidental to ownership belong wholly to the lessor. In finance lease, the lessee bears the risk of obsolescence. Termination of lease. In operating lease, as the lessor does not have difficulty in leasing the same asset to other willing lessor, the lease is kept cancelable by the lessor. In finance lease, the lessor is interested in his rentals and not in the asset. He must get his principal back along with interest. Therefore, this lease is non-cancelable by either party. Payout. In operating lease, the lease is usually non-payout since the lessor expects to lease the same asset over and over again to several users. In finance lease, the lease is usually full payout. That is, the single lessee repays the cost of the asset together with the interest.
Okay. Easy way to understand operating lease into finance lease. It's form part of your accounting standard also. இது எப்படி மனசில் வச்சுக்கிறது ஆப்ரேட்டிங் இன்டு ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸ்? We are going for house ரெண்ட்டுக்கு போகிறோம் as a tenant. If I am a tenant, then I don't have any right to modify the house. ஒரு ஆணி கூட அடிக்க முடியாது. Right? We can use the asset, that's all. Therefore, tenant, lessee, I can't the person to change the asset. Owner only has the right to do the same. Am I right? Lessor is having the owner. Or with me or not? And here, if there is any repair or modification, who has to bear the cost? Owner has to bear the cost. If there is any damage, anything, risk is with the owner one. After all, I am a tenant. After the tenant and the owner relationship is to be called operating lease. Now easy or not? Whereas finance lease, same manner, I am going to take the rent instead of building house. வசிக்கிறதுக்கு இல்லாமல் பிஸ்னஸ்க்காக கேட்குறேன். Suppose owner having the house at T Nagar, Chennai. ஓகே, அந்த ஷகரான பிளேஸ் வச்சுருக்காங்க, மெயின் ரோட்டில் இருக்குங்க, ரங்கநாதன் ஸ்ட்ரீட் இருக்குங்க. அண்ட் ஐ ஆம் கோயிங் டு டூ த பிஸ்னஸ், ஐ நீட் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி ஆர் பிளேஸ், ஜுவல்லரி ஷாப் வைக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். தென் ஐ am approaching the owner for rental purpose. In this juncture, I have to modify the house, then only I can use for my business. ஃபுல்லாக இருக்க இடமே தெரியும், ஃபுல்லாக மாற்றணும், ஃபுல்லி டெக்கரேட் பேக். ஸோ மெனி கேபின்ஸ் ஐ நீட், சேஃப்டி லாக்கர்ஸ் ஐ நீட், ஜுவல்லரி பத்திரமா வச்சுக்கணும். அப்போ the house structure is I'm going to change substantially. Sometime building cost விட the infra water modification cost will be much more higher. Am I right? Then all the cash bear by whom? Lessee has to bear. Lessor எல்லாம் கண்டுக்க மாட்டோம். He is having interest on what? Getting rent. All modification. In case of normal tenant, modify பண்ண முடியாது, அவனை விட அடிக்க முடியாது. But here, everything I have to bear. Sometimes it's a capital expenses also. I can claim depreciation depending upon the modification. Understood? Same lessor-lessee relationship. One is called operating lease, another one is called finance lease. Now easy or not? Then sale and lease back, and the concept important. Sale and lease back. With respect to sale and lease back, assume I am having property, assume it's my own building, I am doing the business in that building. Due to crisis or COVID, loss ஏற்பட்டது, எல்லாரும் நடந்தது இல்லையா? Assume like Pothys, textile shop வச்சிருக்கேன், I am the owner of the building, it's a landmark for many people, am I right? Pothys is a landmark. Happily I am doing the business. Because of the crisis, okay, sales நொடிச்சு போச்சு, I am not able to pay the money, வியாபாரத்தில் நஷ்டம் வந்துச்சு. But in spite of that, I have to run the business. Then only I can make up, am I right? But at the same time, I need money, few crores saved. Then I have decided, getting few crores, that too, now I am incurring loss, repaying interest, EMI also very difficult. But I need money. I sell the property so that I can get few crores. So, வியாபார கடன்லாம் அடைச்சிடலாம், ஒர்க்கர்ஸ் பேப்பர்லாம் கொடுத்துடலாம். But at the same time, நான் சாப்பாடு எங்கே போகிறது? I have to run the business. Therefore, known person யாரை கூப்பிட்றேன், I will sell the place there. I am the owner of the building. I am selling the business place itself. The property sale பண்ணுறேன். But I will use the same place as a lessee. Till yesterday, I am the owner. Today onwards, tenant மாறி. Understood? அப்போ ownership alone is changing. Business place remains same. Because out of doing the business only, I can earn, I can settle the money. Right or not? Instead of எங்கேயா கடன் வாங்கி பண்ணி, father have to pay EMI or interest கொடுக்கறதுக்கு. So, I am selling the asset, I am getting back the asset as a what? அப்போ paper wise தான் transfer. So that I can do the business peacefully without having any loan. That is called what? Sale and lease back. Clear? So, till yesterday, I am the owner of the property. From today onwards, I am going to be a lessee. Clear? வெளில யாருக்கும் தெரியாது, டீசெண்டாக நான் பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கலாம். Who knows? After business has in for huge profit, I can buy back the same property also. Decent way of arrangement or not? Interesting இருக்கா? Substantive. Many theory, name itself implies the character. அந்த நேம் ஒழுங்காக படிச்சுட்டு இல்லை இன்வால்வ் ஆகி படித்தா ஆன்சர் ஒன்று புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். ஆனால் பசங்களுக்கு அது டைம் இருக்க மாட்டேங்குது, அவ்வளோ பிஸியாக இருக்காங்க. ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் போலாமா? Leverage lease, that is also important question. Concept of leverage applicable only in case of loan fund. Marriage. The lease case, somebody is going to substantially finance பண்றான், loan கொடுக்குறான், then it's called one leverage lease. Kindly read that. 2 more question only. Interesting question.
Leverage lease. Under this lease, a third party is involved besides lessor and lessee.
அப்ப lessor is there, lessee is there. Into one more person, funding கொடுக்குறான். அப்போ லோன் கொடுத்தாலே, whenever loan fund comes into picture, leverage concept arises. Therefore, name itself implies the character. Instead of 2 parties, here 3 parties are there. Okay, that's why it's called one leverage lease. Just read further.
The lessor borrows a part of the purchase cost, say 80% of the asset from the third party, that is lender, and asset so purchased is held as security against the loan. The lender is paid off from the lease rentals directly by the lessee, and the surplus after meeting the claims of the lender goes to the lessor. The lessor is entitled to claim depreciation allowance.
Understood or not? Many cases, we are investing money in house property for the purpose of investment. எனக்கு வீடு இருக்கு சார், ஐம் தி ஓனர் ஆஃப் தி ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி. ஓகே, பட் த சேம் டைம் ஃபியூச்சருக்கு இன்ஃப்ளோ வேணும், சாப்பாடு வழி வேணும். ஏர்ன்டு ஃபண்ட் ஐ எம் கோயிங் டு பர்ச்சேஸ் ஒன் ஃபிளாட் புக் பண்ணுறேன். ஸோ தட் ரெண்டல் ஐ கேன் கலெக்ட் த ரெண்ட், ஐ கேன் பி இந்த பொசிஷன் டு சர்வை. பாசிபிலிட்டி இருக்கா இல்லையா? சேம் ஆனர் ஐ எம் இன்வெஸ்டிங் மணி இன் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி, தேர் ஆஃப்டர் லீஸ் விட்டு சம்பாதிக்கிறேன், பணம் சம்பாதிச்சிக்கிறேன். ஸோ தட் ஐ எம் ஏர்னிங் ரிட்டர்ன் அவுட் ஆஃப் தட் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். But invest the property, I need money, no. Partly I may have, partly somebody going to contribute. Appa borrow பண்றேன். Then how you settle, sir? Rent வரும் இல்லையா? Lease rent. Out of it settle the money. So that may be beneficial, yeah. Part of the money you can pay to borrower, remaining money. After one particular point of view, loan settled, I am the owner of the property and I can get full rent. Am I right or wrong? It's a nice concept, no? That is called one leverage lease. Are you clear? Next. Close-ended and open-ended lease. That is also important question. Open-ended and close-ended. Right, ma'am.
Close-ended leases. In the close-ended lease, the asset gets transferred to the lessor at the end of the lease. The risk of obsolescence, residual values, etc. remain with the lessor being the legal owner of the asset. Open-ended lease. In the open-ended lease, the lessee has the option of purchasing the asset at the end of the lease period.
Such a simple one. Open-ended or close-ended. Same logic can take. Rental house ku போறேன். After one particular point of time, அந்த வீடை வாங்கிக்கிறேங்க, I want to purchase the house property. குடுவானா? In general, owner won't accept. Right? வெளில போ, நானே இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட்டுக்காக வச்சிருக்கேன். Clear? Therefore, in general, they won't accept. அவனுக்கு தேவையான விற்கணும் கேட்க, நம்மளா போய் கேட்கக்கூடாது அவன்கிட்ட போய். Okay? If he is offering, then we can accept. Right or not? That is called what? Close-ended. முடிஞ்சு போச்சு, அந்த வெளில போ. Next tenant will come. Now, going back to finance lease concept போய்க்கும். Jewelry shop at T Nagar. அப்போ அந்த வீடை கேட்குறேன். After 1 year or 2 years, like both is Mari, this jewelry was itself what? Landmark item. Thereafter, I may have the chance, sir. Everyone knows this place belongs to me. It is a landmark. I'll buy how much money you want. I'll purchase the property itself. Possibilities there or not? Then it is called one open-ended lease. Are you able to follow? So open-ended lease, end of the period, you may purchase. Then it's called open-ended. In general, finance lease. Close-ended lease, use the property. Thereafter, what settle the money can go. That is called one close-ended lease. Easy or not? That this also name itself implies the correct. Am I right or not? எல்லாம் காமன் சென்ஸ் தான், உட்காந்து படிக்கணும். Shall I go to next one? Hire purchase versus lease. That is also important question. Trade revenue. Difference between hire purchase and lease.
Hire purchase versus lease. Ownership. In hire purchase, the person who using the asset is the owner of the asset, and full title is transferred to him after he has paid the agreed installments. Under lease, the ownership always vests with the lessor, and lessee only gets the right to use the asset.
So the main difference is, in lease, I am using the property, but I am not the owner. Hire purchase, I am using the property, I am going to be the owner of the property. Full payment settle panta, I am going to be the owner. Okay, that's the main difference. Next.
Presence in the balance sheet. Under hire purchase, the asset will be shown in the balance sheet of the person using it. Under lease, the asset will be shown in the balance sheet of the lessor. It is not to be appeared in the balance sheet of the lessee. Such asset shall be an off-balance sheet item.
Off-balance sheet item. Next.
Depreciation. Under hire purchase, the owner can claim depreciation and other allowances on the asset. Under lease, depreciation and other allowances on the asset will be claimed by the lessor.
Next important theory. With respect to source of fund, sometimes 3 more questions they are asking. What is long-term source? short-term source and medium-term source. Share capital, debenture, equity share capital, preference share capital and all, long-term finance. Okay? Short-term, trade credit, factoring, commercial paper and all we can say at time short-term. Bank OD is the short-term. Remaining things we can consider at what? Medium-term. Okay? I don't know why this question is a frequently asked question. Advantage of rising fund from equity, advantage of rising fund from preference shares. You can all plus 2 students are writing much more better than you. But since it's a frequently asked question, we can read one more time. Preference share capital, equity share capital, what are the advantage? Okay. First one is what? Equity share capital. Yes.
Advantages of raising funds by issue of equity shares. It is a permanent source of finance. Since such shares are not redeemable, the company has no liability for cash outflows associated with its redemption.
Understood. Once I raise the fund by way of issuing equity share capital, it's a lifelong asset for the company, even though it's there the liability side. Right or not? Yeah, like money get it from father-in-law. Okay. Next.
Equity capital increases the company's financial base and thus helps further the borrowing powers of the company. The company is not obliged legally to pay dividends. Hence, in times of uncertainties or when the company is not performing well, dividend payments can be reduced or suspended. The company can make further issue of share capital by making a right issue.
Good. Then preference share capital, what are the advantages?
Advantages of raising funds by issue of preference share capital. No dilution in EPS on enlarged capital base. There is no risk of takeover as the preference shareholders do not have voting rights.
No voting right. Okay.
There is leveraging advantage as it bears a fixed charge.
Why? Like interest on loan, preference dividend also remain constant. Therefore, more profit you are going to earn, then dividend you have to pay more to the equity shareholders. But preference share capital, in the profit will remain constant. Therefore, leverage advantage is there.
The preference dividends are fixed and pre-decided. Preference shareholders do not participate in surplus profit as the ordinary shareholders. Preference share capital can be redeemed after a specified period.
Then, various type of bonds they are asking. With respect to bonds, two types are there broadly. One is foreign bond, another one is Indian bond. Under foreign bond, what and all will come under foreign bond? Types of bonds. Yes. FCCB.
Under foreign bonds, foreign currency convertible bond, FCCB. Second, plain vanilla bond. Third, convertible floating rate notes, CFRN. Fourth, drop lock bond.
Drop lock.
Fifth, variable rate demand obligations. Sixth, yield curve note, YCN. Seventh, Yankee bond. Eighth, Euro bond. Ninth, samurai bond. 10th, bulldog bond.
So repeat one more time. 10 types they are telling. What are all they?
Foreign currency convertible.
Yes, we read that. Bond.
Drop lock bond. Variable rate demand obligations. Yield curve note. Yankee bond. Euro bond. Samurai bond. Bulldog bond.
Nandini. Arthi sleeping. Next. Foreign bond case Indian bond.
Indian bonds. 1. Masala bond.
Number one la pair like masala bond, masala bond, okay, masala movie. Masala bond pudichu pochira. Masala bond.
Municipal bonds.
Ayyo pav.
3. Government or treasury bonds.
This is decent treasury bond. So 3 things. What one? Masala bond, municipal bond, and masala bond frequently asked question. ரொம்ப முக்கியமான சரி விடு. Next. Next important concept. Seed capital assistance. Okay. With respect to seed capital assistance, just listen. Assume our Nandini Bhaskaran, right? She has qualified CA, got all India level rank. Okay, Nandini, happy? Very good. She want to do practice. To do practice, she need money. She has approached the bank to get the money, loan. She want to do chartered accountant practice, CA practice. And the banker ready to give the loan. Assume she needs 25 lakhs to start the business. And she said, immediately repayment is not possible. Now I am having knowledge. But to earn money, I have to do the business. It needs some considerable time. I have to approach the client, thereafter get the files. I have to satisfy the client, thereafter only I will get the money. So I need some considerable time. Like SSA loan, entrepreneur development of the loan, business man development of the banker has agreed based on terms and conditions. Okay, ma, you can get the loan, you can develop the business. If you are going to develop the business, overall, Indian people get the opportunity, business opportunity. Ultimately, are going to pay the tax to the government. So ultimately, benefit to the India only, 1% development. That's the concept being SSA loan also, small scale vendors, banker has given the loan with a nil interest concept in order to pay interest for 5 years. That 5 years period is called moratorium period. 5 வருஷம் நீ டெவலப் பண்ணிக்கோ, பணம் கொடுக்குறேன், பணம் டிஸ்டர்ப் பண்ண மாட்டேன். You can grow. Thereafter, normal rate of interest will come, you have to repay. Nice concept or no? That is called what? Seed capital assistance. To develop the person to do the business. Seed, vidai, capital assistant. They are assisting, capital is a seed to grow. That's why it's called a seed capital assistant. Name itself implies the character or not. Second, another loan is called bridge finance. In bridge finance, 5 years period is called moratorium period. Then, okay, Niranjan. Next one is called what? Bridge finance. With respect to bridge finance, assume I want to do the business. To do the business, I need 500 crores. I am approaching the bank. We have to provide security. All documentation process will be there. I have submitted everything. After verifying everything, sir, minimum 6 months I need for verification of each and every asset and the documents, whatever security are provided. Paperwork is there. Immediately they can't sanction the loan. That to what? Huge fund. Then I said, the 6 months I can't wait because I have to start my project. 500 crores worth of security or surety I have given. Verification process is pending. Am I right? Okay. Out of it, for 5 crores you can grant now, based on the same security. So that the 6 months I can recruit my employees, small infrastructure I can create. Okay, I can start the business at least. Am I right or not? To start the business, I need some fund. No? Clear? I am approaching out of the same security, I am getting some loan. After 6 months, loan got sanctioned. Yes, approved. 500 crores they are ready to give. Less the 5 crores whatever they are given, less interest for the same. Balance money I can get. So, the 5 crores they gave for bridging the gap for application date and what? Sanction date. Bridge is a what? Connecting one element to another element. By way of finance, they bridged it. That's why it's called bridge finance. Again, name itself implies the character or not. So, beautiful drop on example. Clear? So, bridging the gap of finance by way of finance is called bridge finance. Clear? Now, listen here. The difference between seed capital assistance and bridge finance, if you are going to comparatively if you are going to study, easy for you. I said in seed capital assistance, Nandini, as a chartered accountant, she needed money. Therefore, seed capital assistant is for professionally qualified person. Educational qualification is important. Bridge finance is for business people. Understood logic or not? Seed capital assistance, 5 years moratorium period. Long term or short term finance? Long term in nature. Bridge finance, 6 months on example. Up another short term in nature. Seed capitalization, there is no interest. Bridge finance, high interest. எப்பவுமே லோன் அமௌண்ட் வாட்டர் ஷார்ட் பீரியட் அந்த கந்து வட்டி இருந்தால் நிறையா வாங்குறோம் இல்லையா, ஹை இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் will be there. Clear? So this is what the difference between seed capitalization and bridge finance. Easy or not? Manageable? Next. Next one is called suppose we need money for the purpose of doing the business. Our KP Niranjan, okay, he want to do the business now. He did 1,000 crores. என்ன business பண்ண போற? He said கடல் நீரை குடிநீர் ஆக்குவோம். Okay, he want to do the business. So many years the project is spending, right? Generation after generation. For that purpose, he want to invest the fund. 1,000 crores he need. He approached. Okay, why don't you partners are invited to invest the fund. For that purpose, partly he can invest, partly he can put, so that we can start the business. But investment by way of what? You can invest substantial money. You can invest nothing but up to 49% you can invest. Why? 15% is a substantial holding with me. So Niranjan is going to invest not less than 51%. Therefore, control will be there, ownership will be there. Remaining 49% they are outsourcing. How you can invest? By way of equity share capital. You can invest the money in equity shares. Okay, sir, I can invest the money in equity share, but dividend I can get only if there is a profit. Therefore, risk it. If you are not interested in equity share capital, then you can invest in conditional loan. What is the second one called? Conditional loan. What is called a conditional loan? Is a repayment in form of royalty. Based on sales, they are going to pay royalty. Royalty is based on sales, so that you can get more income. Right? Conditional loan also, only sales happen, they will give. That's a risk. Income note I will give. What is income note? Hybrid between what and what? Conditional loan and what? Royalty and interest. Clear? Some amount as an interest. Irrespective of the sales, irrespective of business, will pay interest. Depending upon the sale, I will pay royalty also. Both the income will get. If there is no sales, at least interest you can get. Sales will happen, interest as well as royalty will get. So the guaranteed income for the investor. And last one is by way of participating debentures. In general, debentures holder is not the person to participate. Here, participating debenture, they are converted into 3 phases. First phase, nil interest, because I want to start the business. Second phase, you will get low rate of interest. Third phase, sales pick up at then high rate of interest, so that you can get the arvadi in the last phase. So, this type of financing is called venture capital finance. Venture, new venture, risky venture. It may viable or not viable. It may happen or profitable. Viable or materially harm. Right or not? It is for the purpose of new risky venture. Somebody is going to invest. So the result may be failure or chance. In that circumstance, that type of financial assistance is called venture capital assistance. Venture capital assistance, 4 types are there. One is equity finance. Second one is conditional loan. Third one is income conditional loan. Third one is income note. Last one is participating debentures. Next, debt securitization. Okay, Ragana. With respect to debt securitization, you know concept behind factoring. Factoring layer borrower is there, panam kudukrom factor and debtor is there. Am I right? Then all debtors, bills receivable, I am surrendering to factor. I am getting loan from the factor, short-term loan, working capital loan. That is called factoring. Now, think it out. I am a company. You are also called a company. Nirmal company. Debtors, 100 lakhs. Nirmal, you don't know how to collect the amount from the debtor based on aging schedule. Okay? Now, I'll purchase a debtor from you. I know how to get the money from the debtor. Clear? Then, Kirti company, you are having assume 200 lakhs or something. I am purchasing debtor from the all the company at a discounted rate. Worth of debtor 100 lakhs, I am paying 80 lakhs settle penalty. Thereafter, I will collect the 100 lakhs from the debtor. For you, you are unable to collect the money. Now I can get the money, so that difference amount is equal to profit for me for collection fee. Now I have collected all the debtors. It's for just example to understand. I am having huge fund, right? Huge asset, debtor, right or not? Collected debtors, various companies. But when compared to your company, my company is a big company, right or not? Asset side, big asset will be debtor. Then, thereafter, I am converting the debtor asset is an asset pool, pooling of asset, grouping of asset. That is called special purpose vehicle. What is that called? Trust என்ன பண்றோம், collect the money, trust create பண்ணி அதுக்காக ஒரு purpose-க்காக பண்றோம் இல்லையா? Same manner, it's called one special purpose vehicle. Now I am having asset special purpose vehicle. I can issue share securities. Based on the asset, I can issue securities. I am converting this into securities. அப்ப debt, I am converting into security. That's why it's called one debt securitization. So read what factoring, thereafter read debt securitization, easy for conversion, visualize பண்ணுங்க. Without securitization is called the factoring for a later angle. With debt issuing security is called debt securitization. One is big concept and one is small concept. Now got the clarity? Procedure for debt securitization important, benefits also important. Okay. Other things you can ADR as a GDR, American Deposit Receipt and Global Deposit Receipt. That's also frequently asked question. Kindly read that.
ADR versus GDR. Under GDR, the depository receipts in the world market are called GDR.
So world market, global, that's why it's called Global Depository Receipt. Whereas ADR only for America. Okay.
Under GDR, GDRs do not have voting rights. ADR may be with or without voting rights. GDR are traded worldwide. ADRs are traded only in US. GDRs are most preferred due to their easy operations. ADR provides certain stringent rules to be followed which make it less preferred. The cost involved in operation of GDR is less than that of an ADR. The cost involved in its operation is comparatively high due to formalities to be fulfilled under US GAAP and SEC.
Understood? ADR, GDR, it's a frequently asked question. Next. Listen here. Next important theory. You know, sales minus variable cost is called contribution. Contribution minus fixed cost is called EBIT here.
EBIT.
Costing profit, here it's called EBIT. Less interest, like you, less interest is called EBT. Am I right?
EBT.
Less tax is called earnings after tax. Less preference unit is called earnings available to equity shareholders. So by number of equity shares is equal to earnings per share. You know the format of EPS. Assume earnings available to equity shareholders 100 lakhs. Out of which, as a director of the company, I am deciding I want to expand the business. 60 lakhs I need. Okay. 5 crores, 100 crores. Out of which 60 crores I need for the purpose of purchasing machinery and other things. Instead of borrowing the fund from the bankers and paying interest and all, நம்ம கையில் எவ்வளோ இருக்கு 100 crores இருக்கு. Right? Picking order theory. நம்ம ஃபண்டை முதல்ல யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கொண்டா எதுக்கு borrow பண்ணணும்? Right? Therefore, we are not working in software. எல்லாத்துக்கும் கடன் வாங்கிட்டு வீணா போயிருக்கு. Clear? Make use of our fund first. So 100 crores is there. 60 crores I am retaining. Balance how much? 40 crores paying as a dividend. Shareholders, maximization of wealth. Dividend relevant theory. Walter's formula and what? Golden's formula. You can refer. Okay, dividend policy. So that maximization of wealth is also possible. Objectives of financial management. Practical expression, wealth. Wealth maximization is more important than profit maximization. Therefore, immediately I am not paying the full amount of dividend. Dividend payout ratio of 40%. 40 crores you can take. 60 crores is called retained earning. Am I right? I am earning. I am retaining the earning. Why I am earning? I am investing somewhere. If you are going to cry, then 100 crores I can give today. Loan I have to get for 60 crores. Next year, I have to pay interest for the same. Interest will be debited in the P&L account. Then profit will come down. Next year, profit only going to lose. If you are not going to sacrifice, tomorrow, next year, the financial statement will offer. Therefore, don't worry. I am investing only your fund. Out of, if I am going to 60 crores, I am investing somewhere. Nothing but purchasing new machine for expansion plan. Then out of it, you can produce more product. I can sell more product. I can earn more profit. Next year, more profit, more EPS will come. More fund you can get. Am I right? Therefore, wealth maximization concept. So 60 crores. Instead of borrowing from others, I am using my own fund for the purpose of my capital. This is called what? Self-financing. What is it called? Namakku Name Thittam. Understood? Okay, self-financing. That concept of self-financing is called plugging back of profit. Most important question. P-L-O-U-G-H-I-N-G. Plugging back of profit. Understood? What is called plugging back of profit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Next important question, MTP question. Agency cost. Sorry, help me.
Agency cost. In a sole proprietorship firm, partnership, etc., owners participate in management, but in corporate, owners are not active in management. So there is a separation between owners or shareholders and managers. In theory, managers should act in the best interest of the shareholders. However, in reality, managers may try to maximize their individual goal like salary, perks, etc. So there is a principal-agent relationship between managers and owners.
Understood? If I am the owner of the company, I will work hard. Ella profit, nariya profit. Partnerships also, partners are going to work because owners are working. Company, directors are or any manager, those people are different, owners are different. Lifting of corporate by Solomon versus Solomon case. Am I right? Then, if you are the manager of the company, you have to work for the interest of the shareholders. Theoretically, okay. Then, more profit means more commission, more profit comes, introducing company. So, I will do some extra activity to earn profit or siphoning the company's money. Possibilities are there. Because in between, you are depending on one person. So, adukundana cost will be there. That cost is called agency cost. Further, you have to monitor properly whether they are working for the benefit of the object clause of the memorandum of the company or what, for the purpose of maximization of the shareholders' wealth or not. For that, you have to watch. Yes, continue.
Agency problem is the chance that managers may place personal goals ahead of the goal of the owners. Agency problem leads to agency cost. Agency cost is the additional cost borne by the shareholders to monitor the manager and control their behavior so as to maximize shareholders' wealth. Generally, agency cost is of 4 types: monitoring, bonding, opportunity, structuring.
What are they? Repeat: monitoring, bonding, opportunity, structuring. However,
following efforts can be made to address agency cost. Managerial compensation to be linked to profit of the company to some extent with the long-term objectives of the company. Employee stock option plan is also designed to address the issue with the underlying assumption that maximization of the stock price is the objective of the investors. Effective monitoring through corporate governance can be done.
good. So, enjoyed past exam, expected question for the coming examination. Hope it was useful. Am I right? Good. Mere reading or listening alone is not important. Refer the book, try to underline, or possible, take a notes also. Because in examination, mere understanding the concept alone is not important. I studied the books are properly, but everything I know, that alone is not important. Why? What and all you understood, you have to reproduce in the examination, that in 3 hours. Upon number of points also equally important. Clear? For that you have to do the revision properly, and you have to verify, reproduce whether you can able to write all the points or not. That is also equally important. Then only you can score the mark. Happy with the session? Good.